So in the previous class, we were discussing RC phase shift oscillator. Okay, we were discussing RC phase shift oscillator. Okay, right. And unfortunately, there is a very lengthy derivation. Okay, right. But it is very easy. Okay, very lengthy derivation, but very easy. So what we will do is, how many of you know matrices and the what do you say? How to find determinant of a matrix? How many of you know? You have already stated, isn't it? How, what is a matrix and how to find its determinant? You already know, yes or no? Students, mathematics you have studied, yes or no? Students, please answer. Fast, please. Very lengthy derivation. Okay, but very easy, right? Yes, students, matrices. Determinant of a matrix, 2 cross 2, it is AD minus BC. Determinant. Okay, determinant of a matrix, you know, yes or no? Determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix. I think you studied in your school, isn't it? Matrices, determinant. Yes or no? Fast, please. Okay. So far we have done so many derivations. Okay, right? So far we have done so many derivations, right? So for this RC phase shift oscillator, which we were discussing in the previous class, what I will do is, okay, I will explain the outline of the derivation. It will be very easy. Okay, all you are expected to do is practice. Okay, right? For example, I will say determinant of a matrix. Then what you will do? You will use the formula. Okay, determinant of a matrix, right? And then, right, you simply write the steps one after the other, one after the other. You will automatically get the derivation. Okay. So what we will do is, all of you take pen, paper. I hope you are regularly taking notes. So yeah, in your regular notes, right, your notebook and pen. Use your notebook and pen. Derivation. Okay. When it comes, see, outline of the derivation I will explain. Derivation will be your homework. Okay, right? Derivation will be your homework. Outline of the derivation I will explain. Overall, it will be very easy. Okay. Anyway, this is the equivalent circuit which we have seen in the previous class. Okay, right? So now we are going to derive the same old condition we will use. What is the condition? A beta equal to 1. That is the condition for sustained oscillations. Already we discussed, okay, two conditions. What are the two conditions? A beta equal to 1 and the, right, around the closed loop, the phase shift should be 0 or 360 degrees. Okay, these are the two conditions for sustained oscillations, right? We have discussed that so many times. So already the one condition which is phase shift around the closed loop should be 0 or 360 degrees. We already discussed that amplifier block will provide 180-degree phase shift and three RC stages. Three RC stages each will provide 60, 60, 60, 180. So total 180 plus 180, 360. This also we discussed in the previous class. Okay. So now in the previous class again we saw this circuit. Okay. And we discussed that actually the three stages are RC, RC, should be RC. But because the input impedance, when we connect the feedback path, the R3 and HIE will come in series. If you take R, then the equivalent will become R plus something greater than R. Okay, right? 60 degrees, 60 degrees, this angle will change. The condition will not be satisfied. Okay, for that, what is done is R3 plus HIE is chosen equal to R. So now then we will have CR CR. This also we discussed, right? But this is the condition. This is the condition if we neglect the biasing resistors, okay, R1, R2, right? If we neglect the biasing resistors, that is the condition, okay? Neglecting bias resistors means AC equivalent will only consist of transistor, right? When we consider the biasing resistors, you know, for AC equivalent, R2 is anywhere from this point to this point. R1 will also be from this point to VCC replaced by ground. So R2 is anywhere here. R1 also will come in parallel. This also we saw so many times in first unit. Okay, right? So in simple words, if we consider the effect of R1, R2, okay, if we consider the effect of R1, R2, then what we will have is, okay, then what we will have is, we will have to consider, okay, consider the effect of R1, R2, then what we need to do is, we need to consider the input resistance, okay, we need to consider the input resistance as the equivalent of, okay, R1 parallel R2 additionally, okay, we need to consider the equivalent R1 parallel R2 additionally, and that is what we will see now, okay. So when we consider the effect of R1, R2, okay, what will happen is this R1, R2 will come in parallel with HI, okay, R1 will, okay, R1, R2 will come from base to emitter. Observe in the circuit, okay, in the circuit, the R1, R2 will, I said R1, R2 will appear here. So here there is base, okay. For AC equivalent, even this capacitor we can consider as short circuit. So we have R2 from base to emitter, R1 from base to emitter. Already in the equivalent circuit, okay, we have seen in first unit so many times that the input is, right, at the input side we have HIE. Approximate model of the transistor has only two components, HIE, HFE, IB. This we have seen so many times in first unit, okay. Now if we consider the effect of R1, R2, means R1, R2 are significantly, okay, right, affecting the performance of the circuit. In such a case, we will consider R1, R2 in parallel with HI, okay. R1 will be here, R2 will be here, HI is already here, okay. So now the net input resistance will become R1 parallel R2 parallel HI, okay, right. Then what we need to do is, we need to choose R3, we need to choose R3 such that R3 plus, okay, R1 parallel R2 parallel HIE, R3 plus the resistance here, which is R1 parallel R2 parallel HIE, is equal to R, okay. R3 plus R1 parallel R2 parallel HIE, we are calling it as Ri dash, okay. So R3 plus Ri dash is equal to R, okay. Ultimately what we are doing is, three stages resistance capacitance should be same, okay, CR, CR, C. But because of the feedback connection, what is happening, the third resistance, okay, we have to adjust accordingly. The third resistance we have to adjust accordingly, so that the net equivalent resistance will become equal to R, okay. That is what we are discussing here, okay, right. Then in the previous class, we saw some equations. I told you this will be the formula of frequency of oscillation, so on. That derivation we will be seeing now. Okay, those derivations. Right. So next, usually this resistance, okay, RC is represented in terms of R, such that, see, just we are, whenever in our derivation, it's our wish, right? Whatever we want, we can take. So what we are taking is, we are simply taking the ratio of RC by R as K. Okay. What is RC? RC is the load resistance of the amplifier block alone. Okay, right? This circuit already we discussed in the previous class. Okay, so RC is simply the resistance at the load of the amplifier block alone. Okay, so here what we are doing is, to avoid, already we have R and this equivalent R. Okay, to avoid one more variable RC, right? What we are doing is, we are trying to represent RC also in terms of R by assigning some relation, which is RC, we are calling it as K into R, or we are defining a term K, okay, as RC by R, right? Now, what do we have here? We have HFE IB into RC, okay, then capacitor R, capacitor, and this equivalent also is R. So now we can modify this equivalent circuit as this one followed by CR, CR, CR. Simple. Okay. Further, we can use source transformation here. Okay. Further, we can use source transformation here. What does source transformation tell? This also again will be, I told you so many times. Okay, what does source transformation tells? A current source in parallel with a resistance can be represented by what? A voltage source in series with a resistance. Okay, so resistance value we will take as it is, RC. Okay, right? So when we do source transformation, we will have, in place of current source followed by a current source in parallel with the resistance, instead of this, we will have a voltage source in series with the resistance. Okay. RC, the same resistance we will have, right? So as per source transformation, what will be the voltage source? Current source is HFE IB. Okay. Voltage source will be simply the product of this current source and resistance. Okay, right? As per source transformation, as per the theory of source transformation, okay, the voltage source multiplied by the resistance, the current source multiplied by the resistance will give the voltage source. Okay, but here observe the arrow direction. It is in downward direction. Okay, because the arrow is in downward direction, the voltage source will be negative, positive. One of you tell me, now I have already explained, one of you tell me what will be the voltage source. When we do source transformation, how will this reduce to? One of you please answer, fast please. Okay, one more important thing I want to tell. Yesterday we had a meeting, okay, with all second year faculty, head of the department, right? It is observed that attendance is very less, so because of that they want to take strict measures, right? Management want to take strict measures. Either they want, see, from 31st onwards your regular, okay, tests are starting. Either they want to stop you from test. Those of you who have less attendance, okay, inform your friends. Those of you who have less attendance, management is thinking either to stop you from writing test or giving you 0 marks. Okay, right? The decision has not been taken, but they want to implement this very strictly, right? Okay, so please attend, okay, for the entire semester. Again, they will trouble you later. Okay, it's not that you are attending now and tomorrow you need not attend. That is not the case. Okay, for the entire semester, you need to make sure that your attendance is good. Okay, otherwise they are planning to take strict action. Okay, because I care for you, I'm telling all this. Make sure inform your friends, those of you are regularly absent. Okay, they have to come regularly. Very important. Okay, anyway, so tell me, if you do source transformation, what we will get? First, first please. I already told you. Yes, students. Very easy question. Source transformation, we already did so many times. We are not doing this for the first time. Okay. Source transformation, we have done so many means so many times. So tell me, what will be the, and I already explained. Okay. See, simple source transformation. Current source in parallel with a resistance is equal to voltage source in series with a resistance. Okay. What will be the value of voltage source? Current source multiplied by resistance. Okay. So voltage source value will be HFE IB into RC. Right? Resistance as it is. So let us see the source transformation. But here, because the arrow is downward, negative terminal of the source will be here, positive terminal of the source will be here for the voltage source, and that indicates that the voltage source value is actually negative. So what will be the voltage source? HFE IB into RC minus plus. Okay, so the voltage source will be HFE IB into RC minus plus. Then what did I tell you? RC value as it is. Okay, but now the voltage source in series with RC, because we are doing source transformation. So the RC value will be as it is. But we discussed that we will take RC in terms of R. So RC is K into R. Okay, RC is K into R. Then what do we have next? We completed this part. Then CR, CR, C, this equivalent is R. Okay, equivalent of R3 and HIE, right? So voltage source in series with RC, then CR, CR, CR. Okay, voltage source in series with RC, then CR, CR, CR. Okay, right? See, again, I told you, our subject is like this. Only if you practice, you can pass. Okay, right? So make sure everybody practices. So next, again, same process, whatever we are doing. We have circuit, we will write equations, okay? We will find A, we will find beta, right? Then we will use the condition for sustained oscillations, A beta equal to 1, okay? Then what we will do, okay? We will use the condition A beta equal to 1. We will simplify that, okay? And because we have capacitors, right, there will be a J term associated with it. Means we will have real part, imaginary part. Okay. So real part we will equate it to 0, right? Imaginary part we will equate to 0. Okay. This is the process we did in the LC oscillator, okay, or general, right? General LC oscillator. This is the process we did, okay. And then similar process we are going to do here. Okay. So first we will write here we have 3 loops. First loop, okay, second loop, then third loop, right? General practice is, first we will, general practice of writing KVL equation is, first we will name the loop currents. So we will give names. See, any KVL, this is the process. So study the process. Okay. All we are doing equivalent circuit. Then simple. Then the same old KVL, KCL which you have studied in school you are using. I am still surprised that for the past 10 years I'm having 10 years experience. So many students are failing in ECE. I am really surprised because the KCL which you studied in school in 12th standard, we are using. Okay. Same thing. I don't know, one small thing, techniques students are not learning and they are failing. Okay. I'm really surprised. That should not be the case with my students. So all we will do is we will write KVL, KVL, KVL. 3 equations we will get. Okay. So first the KVL here. Now, whenever we are writing KVL, what does KVL say? Sum of all voltages is equal to 0. Okay. Now here, when we are taking sum of all voltages is equal to 0, either we can take the entering term, for example, here we have plus minus. Now, when we are writing KVL equation, the voltage corresponding to this, either we can consider the entering terminal or leaving terminal. Okay. If we consider entering terminal, we have to consider entering terminal for all the other components. If we are considering leaving terminal, we should consider the leaving terminal for all the components. Okay. Both are correct because ultimately what is KVL? Sum of voltages is equal in a loop. Okay, the algebraic sum of all the voltages in a closed loop in an electronic circuit is equal to 0, right? So what happens there is, whether you take the entering terminal or whether you take the leaving terminal, the result is the same because we are equating it to 0. When you are equating it to 0, multiply both sides are minus. Okay. X is equal to 0 means minus x is equal to 0. Both are valid. Okay, right? So that is the reason we can take entering terminal. If you take entering terminal, all the cases you should take entering terminal. Correct. If you take leaving terminal, all the cases you can take leaving terminal. Correct. Okay. Different methods of writing KVL. Different textbooks will write differently. I want my students to learn all the methods. I don't want my students to be blind. Okay, right? I want you to learn all the methods. So here what we will consider is, the author has considered the leaving terminal. Current is flowing in clockwise direction. So whenever the current flows, what happens? A potential is generated across the resistor, positive here, negative here. Okay. Again, positive here, negative here. And then in the direction of the current, positive here, negative here. Okay. Then already positive, negative is there, right? So next we will be writing the KVL equation. Let us start from here. Okay. Let us start from here. I said we will consider the leaving terminal. So plus, minus, again plus here, minus here, again plus here, minus here. In the direction of the current flowing from plus to minus. Okay, that is how we have to consider. We have to consider current flowing from plus to minus. So plus here, minus here, plus here, minus here, plus here, minus here. Okay. Now we will take the KVL equation in the direction of the I1. Okay, for the first loop. So starting from here, I said we will take the leaving terminal. Okay, so the leaving terminal will be minus, right? So minus I1 into RC, minus I1 into RC. Again the leaving terminal minus, okay? So again minus I1 into 1 by j omega c, minus I1 into 1 by j omega c, okay? Then again the leaving terminal here is minus. So minus I1 into R, okay? Minus I1 into R. But here, if you observe, first loop I1 is flowing. Second loop I2 is flowing, okay? Because the resistor R is common for both first loop and second loop, what happens is I1 and I2 both are flowing through R. But I1 is flowing in clockwise direction, okay? So through R, I1 is flowing in downward direction. I2 also flowing in clockwise direction, but through R, I2 is flowing in upward direction. See, I2 is flowing like this, okay? So through this R, I2 is flowing in upward direction. I1 is flowing like this, okay? So through this R, I1 is flowing in downward direction. Because the current direction is reversed, okay? Then what we need to do? We need to consider I2 into R, but in opposite direction, okay? Opposite direction means opposite polarity, okay? So that is the reason minus I1R we got. Because of opposite of direction of I1 and I2, we will take plus I2 into R. So this one we completed, this one we completed, this one two currents we completed. Then again here leaving terminal is negative. So minus HFE IB into RC is equal to 0. Okay. So again I am repeating here we are considering leaving terminal. In the direction of current, standard process is we will take positive terminal here. So entering terminal is positive, leaving terminal is negative. Again in the direction of current, entering terminal positive, leaving terminal negative. Again in the direction of I1, okay, because the loop current is I1, entering terminal is positive, leaving terminal is negative. Okay. So considering KVL for the leaving terminal, right? So what do we have? We have leaving terminal is negative. So minus I1 into RC, okay, leaving terminal is negative. So minus I1 into 1 by j omega c, okay. Then leaving terminal is negative. Minus I1 into R, right? Both I1 and I2 are flowing, and I told you I2 is in opposite direction to I1, right? So I1 already we completed, minus I1 into R, but I2 in opposite direction, so plus I2 into R, okay? Then these three components we completed over. Last here, leaving terminal negative, so minus HFE IB into RC. Okay, HFE IB into RC, because leaving terminal is negative, minus HFE IB RC is equal to 0. Likewise, okay, I told you I will explain the process. You have to derive and submit to me, okay, to my personal WhatsApp. You have to submit, you have to write your roll number and name and submit. Likewise, second loop, if you write KVL, this is the equation we will get, okay. Third loop, we will write KVL. This is the equation we will get, okay. Usually, what people do is to solve the capacitive or inductive circuits, Laplace transform method is used. Mathematics Laplace transform, I hope you know, okay, right? So in Laplace transform, what they do is j omega is replaced by s. Okay, j omega is simply replaced by s. Okay, so j omega replaced by s. So what we are doing? We are writing three KVL equations, and wherever we have j omega, we are replacing it by s. Okay, so first KVL equation, simplifying j omega replacing with s. Second KVL equation, again j omega replacing by s and simplifying. Okay, then third KVL equation, right? KVL simplifying j omega replacing with s. Okay, so what your Cramer's rule says is this, also you might have studied in mathematics. Okay, Cramer's rule, what it says is, if you have three equations and if you want the current associated with the third variable, then the result will be d3 by d. Okay. Okay, first of all, let us discuss what is d. D is simply the determinant of the matrix. Okay, so here the same equations, you know, three equations, right? If we have, you can represent the equations in matrix form. What will be the matrix form equation? First, I1 coefficient, I2 coefficient, here I3 coefficient is 0. Okay, so I1 coefficient is K1 plus K plus 1 into R plus 1 by SC. This is I1 coefficient. K plus 1 into R plus 1 by SC. I1 coefficient will write. Then, this is first equation we are considering. Okay, first equation, first row. Then, I2 coefficient. What is I2 coefficient? Minus R. So, I2 coefficient minus R. No I3 term. So, I3 coefficient is 0. I3 coefficient is 0. So, first equation, that is, first equation means KVL first loop. For that, first row. Then second loop KVL corresponding to second row. What will be the second row? Minus R, 2R plus 1 by SC, minus R. Minus R, 2R plus 1 by SC, minus R. Then third KVL equation, what will that be? I1 term is 0. So coefficient of I1 is 0. Coefficient of I2 is minus R. So minus R. Coefficient of I3 is 2R plus 1 by SC. Okay. So actually, the equation now we can represent as this matrix into I1, I2, I3 is equal to minus HFE IB into KR 0, 0. Okay. Minus HFE IB into KR, column matrix. Column matrix minus HFE IB into KR, then 0, 0. Right. So what we are doing is simple mathematics Cramer's rule we are using to solve the three equations. Okay, you have studied this in mathematics. Use Cramer's rule to solve three equations with three variables using Cramer's rule. Okay, this you studied in mathematics, I am sure. Okay, so what is the process is, we will take determinant of the matrix. Determinant, you know, this term multiplied by this into this minus this into this. Then minus of this term multiplied by this into this minus this into this. This is 0. Okay, so ignore. Right? So determinant of matrix. Determinant of matrix. Then simplifying, 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 simplifying. Very lengthy simplification. Determinant of matrix we are getting like this. Okay. Next, how to find I3? How to find I3 means D3 by D will be I3. D we got. What will D3 be means? Whatever we have in the RHS of the three equations that we will replace in the third column. Okay. So what will the matrix D3 be? What will be the matrix D3B means D3 will be simply these 6 terms as it is. First column, second column as it is. Observe. K plus 1 into R plus 1 by SC minus R 2R plus 1 by SC 0 minus R. These 6 terms as it is. These 6 terms as it is. Okay. K plus 1 into R plus K plus 1 into R plus 1 by SC minus R 2R plus 1 by SC 0 minus R. So these 6 terms same D or D3. Then only thing is the third column we will replace with the RHS of the three equations. Let us see what is the RHS of the three equations. The RHS of the three equations are first equation loop 1 first equation minus HFE IB into KR. Second equation 0. Third equation 0. So minus HFE term 0 0. Okay, right? So D3 will be minus HFE term, which is minus HFE IB into KR 0 0. Now we have to find again the determinant of this. Determinant we already know. I explained. Same method. Okay. Finding determinant, simplifying. We are getting D3 very small term. Okay. D3 we are getting very small term. This one. Right. Now, I3, according to Cramer's rule, the third variable in the equations, okay, the third variable, what is the third? First variable is I1, second variable is I2, third variable is I3. I3 will be D3 by D. D3 means replacing third column with RHS. Okay, we already completed. So I3 is D3 by D. D3 also we completed, D also we completed. D3 by D, if you do, okay, D3 is this one, okay, D3 is this one, D is this lengthy expression, D3 by D, if you do, this is the relation we are getting, I3, okay, right? Then what we are doing, we are finding A is output current by input current. For the amplifier, if you observe, the output is HFE IB, input is IB. Okay.